What's up, guys? It's really early. Got a good one for y'all today, doing a TPI screening test. It's an assessment where they evaluate a player's physical readiness to help improve player performance for golf. So basically, the pro is gonna do a physical evaluation of me, checking balance, mobility, flexibility, all that, and then compare it to PGA Tour average.
How has man not noticed? Hey.
Morning.
Hey, morning. How are you?
See what? This is Ryan.
Right, alright.
Morning. Malik.
Sorry?
Malik.
Malik.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nice to meet you.
I should have asked you
It's
that.
okay.
But you're always 2 steps backwards. Today we're going to be working on your body screening. Okay? What we're going to do is we're going to look at 15 areas of your golf movement. And we're going to try and see if I can leave you with a couple of things that we recommend to help you to get better. Alright? That's the bottom line.
Yep.
Alright, so here's where we start. There are 5 gangs, what we call gangs, to try and help you in terms of what you need for your body. The first gang is the set and release of the club. Okay, so we're talking about your wrist movement, your hand movements, and just trying to make sure that you can hinge, flex, extend, as always. Then there's the body disassociation. That is kind of upper body, trying to get your upper body to move autonomously of your lower body. So obviously that will help you with power specifically. Core control for stability, we'll do some work with that. Make sure that we can get your understand what your core is doing in relation to your ball, because obviously you know how important that is to you. And then again, lower body disassociation, so good width, trying to get good width, and then maintaining posture.
Perfect.
The idea of this, you must have heard of the kinematic sequence.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea of that is to see if there's any part of that sequence that might just be slightly off.
Okay.
If we find a part of that might be slightly off, that's what we're going to work on moving forward.
Right.
All right? And that's what's going to hopefully fix any issues that you may have.
Perfect.
All right?
Yep.
So you happy with that?
Yep.
We'll get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at your pelvic tilt, looking at if you can control your core, how well you can control. So this is part of the core control again. So we're going to come over and we're going to get in some space. All I'm going to ask you to do is try and exterior pelvic and interior pelvic. Okay? Anterior, interior. And I want you to try and do this without moving any other part of your body.
Okay.
Yeah, 5-line posture. Okay, and then from there, you're going to try to tilt and hit your pelvic. Imagine if you've got a bucket of water sat on your belt buckle. Okay? Honestly, you try to tilt it out, tip it out, or hold it in. Tip it out, hold it in. And down. And down. And down. Can you feel the palpitation? Yeah? In your stomach. So that palpitation is stability, a lack of stability. If you could do that without the palpitation, which is that shaking motion, then your stability. So maybe what we'll do is we'll look at how we can get you more stable moving forward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little grade on here on my sheet for you. So you can do it. So it's not like you've failed that you can do it. Mm-hmm. It's just that you've got a little lack of stability, which we will make notes of for future references. Number 2, we're going to go through these. Single leg bridge. Okay, once again, we're looking at your core. So what I'd like to do is lie on the ground for flat. Move back your feet so there's almost far under your knees as possible. Lovely. Then I'll ask you to push your body, your belt buckle up to create a nice straight line, a nice straight bridge. Lovely. Now, once you're in this position, what I'm going to ask you to now do, this is the first test, is straighten either leg. Excellent. So now what I'm looking for is anything falling, body's falling, any rotation again, and with your left leg, perfect. Put it down. Now let's try the other leg. Okay, once again, I'm looking for anything dropping. There's no drop. That core control is excellent. Was either side harder?
I would say the right. The second one. Yeah. Lifting my left leg was a little harder.
Okay, lifting of the left leg, which means that maybe your left glute might be a little bit weaker than your right.
Okay.
You're right-handed, so that's usually the case. Yeah, it's usually the case that one side is stronger than the other, but I don't see any problems there. If you want to work on anything, yeah, you know that actually stability maybe, some left glute work, you know, that kind of thing, that will then help you moving forward. What I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to lift either leg. Close your eyes. I'm going to start counting. When I get to 15, test is done. Okay?
Yeah.
Now what I'm looking for is airplaning, falling over, anything like that. If you feel you're going to fall over, then just put your leg down. I don't want any inches.
Right.
Alright? Lift your knee, please. And now close your eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. That is very good. 10 is good. 10 is good.
Yeah, it's definitely harder without my hands.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, because you don't play golf like this. Okay, so now if we're ready, we're now going to do the other side. So once again, all I'm going to ask of you is that you lift your other leg and close your eyes. 1, 2, 3.
Whoa. Whoa. That leg is really good.
All right, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. One leg is always going to be better than the other. One side is always going to be better than the other. All right, so your right leg is not as stable as the other one. Okay, I'll have that. Okay, that we're looking at for the ability for you to stand firm and erect. There's a lot of, but you didn't need to plane, so you know that's quite good in terms of strength. Okay, but there weren't any real issues in terms of your position, but obviously you started to lose the motor control, you know, as that balance really started to kick in. So again, a recommendation here from me would be to do some balance exercises, more so on your weaker side.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, next one, lower body pelvic test. So here's what we're looking to do. Pelvic rotation test, lower body. We're trying to disassociate your upper body from your lower body. I'm looking again for stability. Okay, once again for stability. What I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to hold your torso still and try to rotate your lower body. The rotation distance is fine, both sides, and in fact, you just have more rotation on this side. Yeah, so that's not going to, the fact that one is more than the other is not going to affect your swing, but if you could get more rotation going back, you might find that your backswing, you get more arc, you might get a lot more turn. Once again, I'm more than happy to put that in as a pass. We're going to now do the lower body quarter rotation test where we're going to actually turn nearly all of the body. Have you place your hands on your hips and then we're going to rotate as far as possible in each direction. So this one I'll show you just a little bit more of a motion. Okay? I'm going to judge you against, this is for another one, but I want to judge you against this. So I would like you to, same thing, choose your leg. You're going to be stood on your left leg to start with. Yeah. Okay? And I'd like you to hands on hips. Right, to rotate. Good, wait, hold. Okay, good, that's as far as you can go. And now come back, go the other way. Lovely, okay? And now relax, soft feet. Okay, now turn in. Good, and now relax and turn the other way. Lovely. Should not expect any less, to be fair. Next test, toe touch test. Okay, that's as far as you can go. Excellent, and slowly back up. Love it. I like those ones.
Yeah.
There you go. Good. So, what I'm looking at is obviously how straight you are, how easy it was to move, and that no problem at all. Good. Moving on. Torso rotation. So this is now the upper body torso rotation. Okay? We're looking for thoracic spine mobility, thoracic to pelvic separation. So separate upper body from lower body. 5-hand position. Okay? To not move your lower body, try to just turn your upper body. Okay? And let's see how far you can rotate. And the other way. Okay, and back this way. Go back, please. You have no movement on your right side, but on your left side, when you get to here, you just shift your hip a little bit. And what I'd like to do is, when you get there, I would like to breathe in. Breathe in hard, and now breathe out and try and move a bit more. Okay, good. Good. All right. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's pretty much good enough for in terms of what you need. If you had any challenges in terms of moving left and right, remember the very first one when I said there was a bit of rotation? And
Yeah.
that's the one that you normally get in.
Okay.
So it's surprising that you got it when you're doing your hip and not that, because that says you've got quite good stability. Whereas the other one said, there might be some stability work there. We're now going to do a seated trunk rotation. And this is one where I put these on. So we're going to sit in here and give you a 5 iron. I want you to see if you can rotate your upper body, okay, in line with our degrees of challenge. But you don't have to worry about this, I will look at that. Okay, good. Alright, interesting. If you think about your back swing, okay, when you're up here, again, this links to the earlier one when I was saying about you should be able to go back further, yeah, but you're stopping, yeah. This links to that, okay, and this is all about this rotation. So, what I would recommend, in terms of the test, it's a pass because you're easily moving, but there's more in there, yeah. For the level that you want to be, this is something that needs to flex more. Again, for the level that you're playing at now, it's not really affecting you, but if you wanna, yeah, and this is something you might do.
Right.
Is that alright?
Yeah.
Fantastic. What we're gonna now do is cervical rotation. Okay? We're gonna now see if you can. What I'm gonna ask you to do is stand tall. I'm gonna get you to turn your head all the way around to your shoulder and try and then drop your chin onto your shoulder. Okay? Let's go to the left. And drop. Good. And back up. Go back to the center, go to the right, and drop. I like these ones. Easy.
Yep.
I like those ones. Excellent. Let's just check in. 90. Okay?
Yep.
So, 5-line posture, 90. Okay? I'm going to ask you to externally rotate the right hand back as far as possible. Okay? I'm going to ask you to do it as far as possible without adjusting your posture. So stay in posture, okay? And currently you are 90-90. And I'd like you to try to rotate your arm back as far as you can.
Like this way?
That's right, there, back. Okay, that's it. Okay, relax, shake it out. We're going to do the other arm. Okay. Looking for there's no back arcing, yeah, no back arching, and try and just see how far back you can move your arm. Okay. What I'm looking for is A, if it moves, okay. B, if it moves a level, or C, if you can get it back past your posture. Okay. Yours is level. All right. Which means it's not necessarily a fail. It just means you have limited movement motion. Yeah? So, in terms of testing this, I'm just going to put equal to your posture. We're going to do this one next. This is your lat test. Okay? So, we're going to lean against the wall with your feet. You can sit against the wall with your feet out. Raise. Okay, now, what I'm looking for is how far you can get your fingers near to the wall without arching your back. Your back cannot come off the wall. You can get your hands out with your thumbs pointing up, arms out, hand going up. And what I'm looking to see is how far or how near you can take to the wall without taking your back off of the wall. Just in front of your ears, okay, relax. Now what I'm looking for is either in front of the ear, align with the ear, or past the ear. Past the ear is on the wall, align with the ear, if your ear is straight up, in front of your ear is slightly on forward. There's quite a lot of mobility that can be found in there. Yeah. If you can work on, get someone to help you work on that, yeah, that is definitely an area that will improve your swing.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm assuming that you already know that.
Yep.
Yeah? Fantastic.
So that's 2 with the shoulders so far.
Yeah. So these shoulders is becoming a bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah? But that means that we know exactly what needs to go on. The overhead deep squat is very, 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 very good. Very good one. This is the one exercise that 90% of all golfers will have a challenge with. Alright, so we're going to go through the whole gambit from beginning to end. That's going to include doing a squat with just like a normal squat. We're going to do one with your heels slightly raised. Then we're going to have a look and see what part of your body, if any, is hindering.
Right.
Alright? Grasp a club straight up over your head. So you're going to get into your 5-hand position. Okay? Straight up, head over your feet. Beautiful. Okay? And then you're going to squat down as far as possible while keeping the club as high as possible over your head. Alright? So, are you good?
Yep.
And let's go. Okay, and back up. That's better than last time,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
I was locked in.
Yeah, good, good. That's great. That was far better than last time.
It's easier holding something though. Because
Yeah.
last time I was just doing it with
Just
my
doing it with your hand, right? Okay. Even though I'm happy with the pass, I know you have ankle issues, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a test on your ankles that will help you to be able to go away and do that to try and get more flexing, dorsal flexion. Okay? So this is what I'd like you to do. Go onto one knee, like so. Okay? And normally what I would do is I would get a club. I like to use my putting stick. And what I'd like to do is try and push your knee all the way to the stick. Good. Now, see if you can reach this. Excellent. Okay, and relax. That isn't anything with the ankle. You definitely serious issues last time. Let's change feet. Up against, push forward. Good. Push forward. Excellent. One more. Excellent. Sorry, hold on. Do that one more time. Some people have little things in their shoes to raise their heels. But that's excellent. That's part I've got no choice but to say to you that you're one of the 5%ers. Huh?
I'm shocking that I passed that one.
I'm shocked that you passed that. That's great though, yeah. No, I'm gonna keep you.
It could definitely be easier though. It could be easier.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Because you were still golfing, you still do squat lunges and all that sort of business, and try and get it more flexible at your age. You're like, yeah, I should be able to do more than that if necessary. But the key term is if necessary. Because if you want to get to 6, 7, plus 6, 7, 8, all of these range of motions, you start improving them and you will do. Yeah? Second to last one is your wrist hinge up and down. What I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to see if you can flex and extend your wrist. How far you flex and extend.
Yeah, it's not really like that.
Okay. Oh. Okay, do that again. Okay? So you can extend your flexion. Pull your thumb up for another. Yeah, okay. Flex, extend. Yeah. Okay. And now let's do pronation and supination. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go the other way. So, okay. That's good. Wow, that's where you get that whip from. Yeah, as you come through the ball, you get that real whip. That's fantastic range of motion. Yeah, we don't work on your wrist. No. Just naturally from doing this from young. But that is a lot of movement. That is great, yeah.
My forearms are really tight though.
Yeah?
But
Well, you have very strong forearms, and the reason that you'll feel this tightness, that's just the tendons. Right. You see when you get like golfer's elbow, because people are gripping the club too tight, and they try and swing, those tendons just stretch, and that's where there's a problem from. But it's no problem if it's tight here, okay, because here you're whipping through the ball, so you can do that, and there's no issue at all.
Right.
And then it ends our assessment. That is brilliant. I've got to hand it to you. There's some great stuff in there. We have one major challenge, which is the shoulders. Yeah? So, what I would say is, I would first go to a chiropractor, physio, somebody who can look at this and really test the bones in there. Yeah? Because that's not muscle, that's not muscular, that's what your bones are actually doing. Yeah? Seeing if they've got freedom to move inside, because you, unlike these stable and mobile joints, there's the scapula back there kind of does this.
Right.
Yeah? Yours doesn't seem to want to do it as much. Yeah? So when you kind of do this, when you go up, your shoulders doing this, which means that because you can't go back, there's something that is actually hindering it, getting fluffed in the end. So it might be worth, I said, and I will always maintain, I'm no doctor, but what I do know is that there is something hindering that movement that you might want to go and have it looked at, so that they can say, well actually, Richard always talking about, you're not doing your bone, that's the muscles, your muscles will do that. Yeah? Right. And if they say that, great, then we'll work on the muscles. We'll work on loosening them, strengthening them, stretching them, whatever it is doing. Right. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great stuff. Well done.
Richard Forbes. If you're in Barbados, come check him out. Amazing. And this is a new spot, so can you talk a bit about it?
Yeah, sure. So this is Forbes Golf. This is my indoor suite. We have a simulator so that students can come in and look at their numbers, look at how far they're throwing, what's happening with the club face. Or if you want to, you could just come and play Car Hollow, ready for the next PGA. Okay? We have, as you can see, the Type of Performance Institute's certificate where we do, like we've done today, a body screening. But I also have these hooks on the wall for the Scotty Scheffler Swing Golf Forever training system. That all works on here where people can look at strengthening their core, strengthening their flexibility, and basically playing golf forever. And then over here we have our putt view. This is an electronic system where it shows you your ball lines, it helps you with your speed, your choosing of your lines. It also helps with having fun while practicing. There's plenty of games and such like on here where people can play and learn to putt properly whilst enjoying themselves, rather than just doing monotonous drills that can be somewhat boring sometimes. So we've got a putt view, we've got the simulator, we've got the conditioning wall, we've got a suite here that will suit everybody, all different levels of golf. So thank you very much for coming and being a part of it. I really, really appreciate your time. Please come back and hit some golf balls. Yeah? All right, thank you very much again.
Thanks again.
Great stuff.
Really cool. It was interesting for sure. Figured I was gonna pass everything, and Richie also, because I'm already a pro, so he said most people fail like 5 things and pros usually fail 1, and I failed not failed, but the weakest part was my shoulders. And also the balance test, I was really surprised. Thought my balance was pretty good, but it turns out it's not as good as I thought. So I gotta work on that one for sure. But yeah, that was really cool. Shout out to Richard for hooking me up with that. And we're gonna test it again in a few months. I'll be training. I'll work on all this stuff. I gotta see the physio again for my shoulders. So right now we're on our way to the Grand Lee Adams Memorial School. I did a charity tournament like a couple days ago, and the guy organizing it, Dale Haynes, is he's presenting the products to the students today. So he asked me if I could come in and help with the presentation. So that's where we're off to now. So you'll see, hopefully that goes well.
Are you feeling very nervous?
For what?
How you feel, bro?
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, shit.
Want to come here and join the dignity? They came third in our program. You just want to take a picture with them? Mine, you're nice iPhone? You're nice iPhone? Come on.
Beijing Canadian professional golfer. I was born and raised here, but I moved to Canada when I was a teenager. And my goal since I started playing golf at 2 has been to make the PGA Tour, to become a pro golfer, make a lot of money. But so huge dream for, small island kid. And there's been a lot of adversity along the way. It's still not over, but just keep going, keep chasing it, and never stop.
Coming from a small Caribbean island,
Yeah.
Having big dreams and wondering, hey, well, can I amount to, where other persons have gone before, or, should I just stay in my small bubble? But hearing your story and hearing aspirations and seeing you on that path is inspiring for all of us. So continue doing what you're doing, man.
Thank you.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. We like it.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All right, that was cool. I ain't gonna lie, I was a little. It's a good thing he didn't have me talk in front of all those people. That was more people than I expected. And my boy here was just standing on the side. He said the 2 of y'all won, and he just had me go up there.
I was recording. I was busy.
Busy? But you can record from next to me. All right. Well, that was cool though. Dale is such a cool guy. Now we're gonna head back to the course and play some golf. Gonna get some good content for. I'm not gonna do a vlog, 9-hole vlog today. Gonna just do Instagram stuff because I got enough for YouTube for now. And this is gonna be my last game at Barbados Golf for a while. I'm heading back to Canada. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Next time on Zaire Auto Golf, he'll be back in Canada. Which course will he play? How much will he shoot? Tune in next week, find out.